Hi everyone, I'm going to show you right now how to make your example triangle for our string art project. So the first thing you're going to do is open your sketchbook, take a piece of paper and actually rip it out. We're going to use this piece of paper as a template. So we're going to actually go like this and fold it into a triangle shape here, like this. Make sure that your edges are nice and even when you did your fold there. Right here, they're all lined up. And we're gonna fold this extra piece back like that. So when we open this, what we have is a nice square here, an even square all the way around. I'm gonna do a double fold on that. I'm gonna use my scissors. And here I have my template to start out from my sketchbook page. Then what I want you to do is take that square and I want you to fold it in half, like this. Because we'll be using this measurement here to make the base of our triangle right now. So we're gonna go back to our sketchbook. Now we have our template, we have our sketchbook, and we have a pencil. So to start out, I'm gonna use this paper folded in half. I'm gonna measure this and I'm gonna line it up with the edge of the bottom of the paper. I'm gonna make a little mark there so I know where the halfway point is. Again, what I just measured was from here to here, a halfway point. Then I'm gonna open up that square, put it right on top. Again, line up all the edges so you know that it's actually lined up accurately across the paper. And then I'm gonna make another mark right in the center, again, where that fold is there. Put that in half, and I'm gonna line those up. I'm gonna draw very lightly with my pencil. So now I have a nice straight vertical line across. This measurement here is the base of my triangle. I'm gonna take the corner of that, or this corner, put it in the corner of the paper here, and I'm gonna figure out where does it cross with that center line and make a little mark there. So you can see from there to there is one side of my triangle. I'm gonna actually draw that line in now. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So again, from the corner to the corner, we're trying to be as accurate as we can. And now what we have is an equilateral triangle that we've drawn in our sketchbook. I'm going to erase that interior line that I just drew. But I am going to leave the little tick mark at the bottom. And then now I know that that's the halfway point between here and here. I want to figure out what is the halfway point across this line. I can use my little rectangular, or my square template again. Put that down, mark that halfway point, and do the same thing over here to mark this halfway point. So now I have, again, an equilateral triangle. This length is the same as this length, is the same as this length, and I have the halves broken in half that I've measured out accurately. Now we're gonna do a little bit of estimating. I want you to go between this corner and this line here and make a mark at about halfway. Same from here to here, estimate about halfway and make a tick mark. Same with this edge, from here to here, make a mark at about halfway. There to there, make a mark at about halfway. And then same on our bottom edge, about half and about half. The last tick marks we're gonna put on here, we're going to put 3 tick marks in between each of these. So again, if you wanted to try, you could break them in half. One more time. Again, we're not gonna be perfect, but we're trying to be as accurate as we can. Ideally, we would use a ruler for this, but in our current circumstances, we're just gonna estimate. If you feel like you wanna do this really accurately, you could use a ruler for this as well. And then we'll break those in half one last time. Now we have the basis for our triangle. Before we begin, I would highly recommend just do a quick double check. You need to have the same number of tick marks on each side. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Double check over here. Do you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Once you have all that ready to go, now we can start creating our design. So this is how we're gonna start. I'm gonna start from the bottom row here. This tick mark here is going to line up with the very top. I would highly recommend use a ruler or a straight edge. I'm gonna use that rectangle folded in half again, that square that we folded. And then I'm gonna take the next tick mark across and the next tick mark down. So this one here and that one here. It's really important that when you do this, you measure accurately, that you know your lines are really lined up to each other, because it can get a little confusing as we go. So 1, 2, I'm in the third tick mark down, the third tick mark over. Again, line up both edges, double check both of them. And we're going to continue all the way down. Again with the fifth mark, the fifth mark. I recommend as you make these lines, you can see that I made a mistake right here. You can always go and erase that line. If you need to do any erasing though, do it right away. Don't wait till the very end. Again, hold that straight edge down so you know that it's not going to move on you as you're making these lines. Again, you might have to do this a couple times. It can be a little bit challenging to get this right every single time. And again, because we have 15 tick marks on each side, when I get to the last one here, I should be on the last one on this side. So now that I'm done, I have a really nice called Bezier curve happening. I'm going to continue that now on this side. So this is where we start getting a little bit more challenging. So my first line here, I'm going to line up with the top line up over here. So first one there, first one here. And then again, second one. Second one. You'll want to double check both sides before you make those lines, and this is where the lines start to get a little confusing because there's a lot of them. So double check your marks every time. Third one, third one. Some of my last two tick marks now. The last one there and the last one on this row. All right, so we have two curves done now. We have one more left to do. The last one is going to start right here. So again, this line here, I'm going to match up to this line here. So I'm going to start this direction. And there we have it, our finished triangle.